Last time on SV and Pavdas, we had a few guests in to give us their thoughts. Barry from Sailing ABC, and Carl from Carl and Jenny Sailing Adventures, Gavin and Hannah from Sailing SV Compromise, and of course Jamie from Follow the Boat. This time we hear from more YouTube celebrities about their thoughts on solar.
Welcome to Boat Electrical Made Easy Part 11 on solar.
We've put together these solar videos so that you guys can get a kind of a look at the way other people's solar works and the solutions they've come up with. And the reason we've done that is because, as we keep saying, there is no one size fits all with solar. It's about what's best for you with your boat, about your budget, about the space that you've got, and what type of battery technology you've got. So in this video we're going to get some more opinions on people's solar solutions. There's some really good ideas out there, and as we say, one size does not fit all, especially if you're my size.
Anyway, so enjoy watching.
Yeah, enjoy watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave your comments down below, because we actually quite enjoy reading through the comments that people make. So without more ado, here's the next series of videos.
What on earth are you doing?
I'm finding out what my strength in my arms are, and the answer is very little.
And why would you even need to know?
Well, if we're going to be lifting any solar panels, I better have some strength in these arms.
Right, so these are our solar panels, and because of the strength issues that Gaynor was alluding to, we have gone for flexible solar panels. And the nice thing about flexible ones is they weigh about 2 to 3 kilograms each, 2.5, 3 kilograms, something like that. And so they're very light to lift. It means that we do not have a huge heavy weight high up here, high above the water on the back of the boat. Some of the solid panels weigh 20 kilograms each, so that's 40 kilograms, like 6 or 8 feet above the water, and we have to lift that out onto there and put it on an arch, which then has to be secure enough and secured through the boat to hold what is basically a few sacks of cement. So rather than that, we've gone for very lightweight panels. People say, don't buy lightweight panels, they're rubbish, and when you stand on them they get wrecked. Well, nobody's standing on these ones, I guarantee it. And they are 150 watts each, and they put out in the autumn, because we didn't have them in the summertime, but in the autumn they were putting out 700 watts of power a day, which at 12 volts works out at something like 50 or 60 amps a day going into the batteries. Now, that doesn't sound a lot, but Salty Lass is a very, very low power boat. We don't have induction hobs, we don't have freezer units, we don't have air conditioning, you know, we don't have high wattage light bulbs everywhere. She uses very, very, very little power. The biggest power draw we have is our fridge, and that's about a duty cycle of about 1.5 amps to 2 amps per hour. So if this puts in more than that, we're ahead of the game. So our batteries stay topped up. These are working very well, and we've got them wired up to a Victron controller, which is doing a very good job and has this lovely little reporting utility that you can see here, which shows you how you're doing and things like that. Now, it's winter here. We're in the middle of winter, literally. We're halfway through. And today, these have put in about 20 amps into the battery, you know, in the middle of winter. So we're not complaining about that. If we were sailing, it wouldn't be enough. But here in the marina, we can hook up to shore power, and very little helps.
Okay, well, the other good thing about the design that we came up with was that we were able to model it with some matchsticks.
Please, we use advanced modelling techniques.
Yes, we used advanced modelling techniques. So we modelled it with our advanced modelling techniques, and we bought standard components off the internet. It's all put together with brackets that you can get off the internet, and grub screws. And the only thing we did with the grub screw was where it was going to go, we drilled it a little bit more so it went in to the pipe work a little bit more, and that was it. Other than that, it's all standard components that you can get off the internet.
If you don't follow my YouTube channel, you're probably wondering who I am. My name is Dave, and my channel is called DVS Era, and it currently follows the ongoing renovation project of my 18-foot sailing boat here in Ireland. It's a drop keel sailboat which I intend to use on the inland waterways here. I haven't got to the stage of putting my solar array together yet, but it's something that I have some past experience in, and have a little bit of knowledge about, which I want to share with you. You can scale a solar array on a land-based situation to whatever dimensions you need to generate the amount of power that you need to generate on a day-to-day basis. But if you're talking about a boat situation, you have the limitations of the area in which you have to place solar panels. The other limitation is storage, because even if you can generate enough power to meet your daily requirements, if you can't store that electricity, then you can't use it when you need it. Your physical size of your battery bank is another thing which is constrained by the size of the boat. That's another obvious limitation which you have to take into consideration. Now, with most problems in life, if you throw enough money at them, you can come up with some kind of a solution, generally speaking. And alternative energy and solar is no different. You can go online and you can spend any amount of money and get some kind of a workable solution which will generate power on your boat. But the problem with that is it the best solution for your particular circumstances? So the most important thing you need to do is sit down and figure out what you would like power-wise, what appliances, what devices you need to run. And then you need to write another list of what you actually need, because you need to subtract the what you need from what you want. Because wanting to have a fridge to keep your beer cool and your food cool is great, but if you can't run the solar array to meet the power requirements you need to run that, it's probably, doesn't really make sense when you can have enough power to run everything else except a refrigerator. Now, if you have a medical condition which means you have to have medication and it needs to be kept cool, obviously the fridge is going to be a life and death thing for you. So that's why I say you have to sit down and figure out what you need for your own installation, and then look around to see what's available. Don't just go out and throw money on the the name brand straight away for each of your components, your panels, your batteries, your charge controller, etc. Because if you watch these videos, you'll see all these comments in the comment section from people saying, oh yeah, buy X charge controller, buy whatever solar panel, buy this technology of battery. And those people, the vast majority of them, have zero experience whatsoever. They're just regurgitating something they've seen online on the basis of it's the in thing. So every kind of battery technology can work, but they obviously have different charge capabilities, and more importantly the amount of draw you can take out of the battery before you do them damage. Obviously the latest technologies are the higher percentage of what you can extract from the battery without doing it damage. I think some of the newer technologies you can take up to 80% out without doing any harm to them, and then recharge them back up again, which is fantastic, but you're paying a premium price to have that. Whereas if you spent the same money on a good quality lead acid deep cycle battery, you could have similar results with a slightly little bit more care in looking after them, which is probably going to be worth the saving of a massive amount of money. If it's worth your while to spend the extra money and have the peace of mind and not having to worry about the batteries charging or discharging, then fine, go for that. But for most people, I think budget is a consideration as well. So look, that's my opinions, that's my thoughts on this whole solar question. If you disagree, that's entirely up to you. As I say, it's only my opinion, and I was asked to share it in this video.
So it was way back over a year ago now when we were in Lefkas, and we got into conversation with a fellow AML owner, and he had sketched up the design for 3 Panasonic HIT 245 panels, and he quite kindly emailed us through his sketch of the circuit diagram that he designed for his boat. So this scrap of paper kind of gave us the inspiration to look into it a bit further. We're going to Tunisia anyway to get some jobs done, and I thought, just out of interest, I'd send a rough sketch of the type of thing that we had in mind, and the quote came back at €1,500, which was way cheaper than anything we'd had quoted on before. We needed dinghy davits anyway, so we thought, well, why not? It's not going to cost that much more to get the full arch made. Let's get it done. So the facilities were basic, but the skill level was there. So we went ahead and did it, and we thought, well, if we get at least a frame made for the solar panels, we could work out a budget for the panels and the installation at a later date. I have no idea what they're saying. So we sailed away from Monastir with quite a lot of work done and the solar arch in place, but still no money for the actual solar installation.
You can see there that you put the solar panels on top so it collects more sun, and the boat looks really weird with it.
After visiting the Balearics and Sardinia, we went down the east coast of Spain with the intention of wintering in Almerimar. So finally, after doing loads of research and drilling down on price, even though the shipping costs were quite a lot, it was still cheaper to get them shipped in from Glasgow than sourced locally. 3 Panasonic HIT 245 watt panels.
But all looking good.
It's been great. We've never looked back. It was the best decision we ever made to get solar installation. The batteries have barely dipped below 90%, and usually the solar panels will have them fully charged again by mid-morning afternoon. In fact, I'm actually thinking about getting some inverters put in to run the washing machine and the water maker, but that's a different job, and that'll go on the bottom of the jobs list for now.
So, quick bit of information. This is Mothership Adrift's schematic for their system. You can stop the video and take a look. So, what's our solution? Well, those of you that follow us on a regular basis will know that back in Almerimar, about this time last year, March, we had the local guy build us a solar arch. We did the design work, he did all the bending, cutting and welding, and we bought all the fittings from eBay and fitted them, and it was simply a case of dropping the arch into position. So one of the things that we did, if I show you here, is all of our fittings have had the grub screws removed, and then they've been drilled and tapped to allow a 6mm bolt to go straight through the fitting and through the tube, and that prevents the arch from being lifted up if there's any updrafts. We've kept the underside of the panels away from the bimini so that there's a good air gap and that they can stay cool. Because as you've seen in the previous videos, it's pretty important that they're kept as cool as you can. They work more efficiently. We have diagonal braces, you can see just above the dog's artificial grass. Diagonal brace that comes across, and that stops any lateral movement. So it's very sturdy, and we can actually lift our outboard engine up on it as well, and we're very pleased with it. What we did do at the beginning of this season, and you'll probably see it in one of the later videos that we do on outtakes, is we cut the frame down this season by about 250mm to make it shorter. So you can see the prismatic glass there. How much that helps I don't know, but we've been very impressed with the performance of these panels. Now, one of the things that we have done recently is we've switched these over to in series, which is why these cables are hanging down here. Last year we ran them in parallel with plenty of output, and this year we're going to try them for the first few months in series. Okay, so our solution is twofold. Now, we get enough power from just the arch, the solar array on the arch, but we also have these. Now, these are Chinese flexible monocrystalline. There's the tag on those for anyone interested. So say 100 watts, and what we have is we have these bungee hooks. We can then hang them over the side of the boat on whichever side the sun is more prevalent, or even over the rear, and then they produce another 200 watts of power through a separate charge controller. So let me just show you how do we make them flexible. Well, we have a socket down here next to our mains, and that's a 15 amp 12 volt waterproof socket, and we have a wander lead that we can plug in that, which is about 5 meters long, and that allows us to position the panels anywhere on the boat or move them during the day if the boat turns or as the sun tracks its arc from east to west. So that's our solution, and you can see David next door, who's actually just fitting some more solar. He's got winged panels. So there'll be more about David's panel solution in an upcoming video. So here's our schematic. Now, we have redundancy in the fact that we have two separate lots of panels and two separate charge regulators, both MPPT and both by Victron. One's a 7515 and the other one's a 130. Our battery bank is 400 amp hours of AGM, and we have a shunt and battery monitor that tell us what the battery state is like. Again, this is a bit of a compromise, but it does give us a certain level of redundancy.
Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video.
It's been fun making the videos, and it's been great to work with the other YouTube channels. Don't forget to go and look at their channels and like and subscribe them as well. If you want copies of any of the drawings or details that we've shown in these videos, just ask in the comments and we'll find a way of getting them to you. Until next time,
sail safe.
Sail safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video.
Oh, we're on. I'll do it again.
Stop shaking the table because you're
Yeah,
making the
all right,
camera
okay,
wobble
start again.
with your hand movements.
Come on, stop mucking about.
Right, okay. Oh, God, Dominic. That's because I can't stop looking at you for some reason.
Well, don't look at me.
Welcome to Boat Electrical Made Easy Part 11.
You got that right.
For a change.